Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTbase.com. Welcome to our weekly COT review. Today we're going to be analyzing the 16th Commitments of Traders Report of 2022. And as we always do, we shall start off by looking at the largest changes in commercials positions. Before we jump to the review, just a brief reminder for those of you who are just joining, here at COTbase.com, we offer a lot of educational material, not only in written format with a bunch of examples, but we have some very useful video format tutorials as well, helping you to really understand what this report is all about and what kind of tools there are to analyze it. Wonderful data. Back to the review, and starting off with our first market, coffee, where we have a 21% change in commercials. We're looking at the left side of this table. So commercials net positions, we have a 21% change in that. And this, of course, is based on a 52-week look back period. You can see this change, red of course representing commercials. You can see the magnitude of this change in net positions over there, definitely greater than average. But if you look at the chart since February of this year, we've been seeing greater changes quite frequently. This recent COT change signal is suggesting some strengthening in the next few days. Moving on to the 5-year chart, you can see that the last major extreme was a bearish one in February, just at that top. And of course, it was a successful signal. As the market is headed lower, we're not surprised to see traders moving away from their bearish extreme. Now, of course, we're definitely not close to any bullish COT extreme levels. I'm just showing you the most bullish extreme from September of 2018. What a wonderful signal over there. Okay, the next market will be lumber, 12% change over here in commercials positions. You can see that it is a bit larger than average, but we have seen greater changes in the past. Actually, the previous COT report was a successful bullish COT change signal. You can see how it moved the market higher in this trading week. Moving on to the 5-year chart, you can see that not only are we talking about a bullish COT chain signal, but actually the extreme picture is more bullish than bearish. Of course, you got to go back to these levels from 2017, 2018 to really see what a significant bearish COT extreme means. We are not at those levels, nothing close to that for now. So the COT extreme analysis is showing us a picture where the market can easily gain momentum and we could see higher prices. Feeder cattle, 11% change over here in commercials net positions. That change can be visible over there, a bit larger than average, but really nothing unusual. It is suggesting some weakness in the next few days. Moving on to the 5-year chart, you can see that we are in a bullish COT extreme place. And of course, that has been the case for quite some time now as the market is headed higher. We're definitely not receiving any bearish COT extreme signals. As you may see, one example from 2020, we're not at those levels for sure. So the extreme side shows potential for further rallies in the next couple of weeks and month ahead of us. Moving on to large speculator COT extreme, we've got the South African Rand on top of our list with the 226 report extreme. Basically, you can see where that happened back in July of 2017. This was of course, a bearish COT extreme. That is what we are talking about right now. This is a bearish extreme. What's interesting to see that the market is actually reacting to that extreme signal, but the extreme is actually widening as the market is reacting. So it's just supporting further decline in the South African Rand. The next market will be crude oil, the WTI crude oil for this next market. Here we have 163 report extreme in large speculators net positions. This, of course, is a bullish COT extreme situation. Again, one might think that at these prices, we should be expecting bearish extremes, but that's not the case. And of course, you can see that when we had a bullish COT extreme in the market, that was actually pushing it higher. So it simply states that we could see even greater prices in the crude oil market the next couple of weeks and month ahead of us. And last but definitely not least, let's open the Canadian dollar, where we have a 39 report extreme in large speculators. And of course, if you look at the horizontal line, you can see that this is a little bit towards the bearish side of the market. We could see even greater extremes. You got to go back to May of last year. So roughly a year ago, we had an extreme even greater. What a wonderful bearish extreme. So we might get to those levels and witness the Canadian dollar lose value based on that extreme. We'll see which way it's headed. It could easily move back to bullish COT extreme levels. Of course, we shall see. It's not an extreme where I would be acting on the signal yet. And of course, don't forget that these COT reviews are very brief. We only focus on a few markets and just, have a brief understanding of COT changes and extremes, but there's so much more to do here at COTbase.com. We have a lot of different tools to analyze the COT extremes, the COT index, the COT move index. You can actually analyze the long-term trend, add volume and open interest analysis to your recipe. If you are interested in the newest COT report types, that's available. You can look at the futures only data, the options only data, whereas in these reviews, we are actually looking at the combined futures and options data. There's specific data sets that you may want to analyze, or if you are very interested in all the specifics of the of the COT data of one market, let's say in this case we are talking about the Australian dollar, you can actually have a look at that as well, and you can see that we do show everything in these wonderful table formats. You can actually chart them if you wanted to. They may take some time based on there we go. So you can see we've got the Australian dollar. In this case, we are looking at small speculators short compared to the net positions. You can, of course, download these different formats. A lot of things to do here. And by the way, we have some very useful indicators as well. The COT Base Pro, for those of you who are interested in classic COT analysis, the one I'm just showing to you in these reviews, this includes everything in what you see on the website. But above that, you get an indicator that you can use in NinjaTrader. You can download our database. And then we have the iCOT Intraday Indicator, which is a wonderful tool for those who trade in a more shorter time frame. This is available for NinjaTrader, CTrader, and TradingView. A wonderful tool, again, for those who trade in a shorter time frame. So this actually is gold on a 1-minute candlestick chart. You can see underneath here, these are very similar to what you are used to in COT analysis. This is not COT data from CFTC. It is our own indicator, but we find that it is a wonderful tool, especially using with together with these signals, can be a very valuable asset to your trading system. Thank you very much for being with me in this review. I appreciate your attention, and I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Goodbye.